Good afternoon everyone and welcome to today's webinar. For those who don't recognise my voice, it's Mike that will be leading today's webinar, and what we'll be going through is some stock management on the system. So specifically what we'll be covering is stock taking, amending your batches, which is including splitting batches, amending batch costs and the status, as well as creating bin locations, how to assign them in the different areas that we can manage that. So it should be a relatively short webinar, but starting off we'll be going through sort of stock taking. So it's a case of when you're managing your stock takes and you need to do any small amendments or even a big amendment, there's a section in Prima that will allow you to do this. So first of all, you want to navigate to the stock and then stock taking area on the left hand side of Prima. If we just go into the stock take area, like most areas within Prima, we want to look for the available lines in the top right hand corner. And then it's at this point that we can either search for the specific product code, or you can hit search without any product code and that'll return a full list of things that you can search upon. Now if I hit this green little button here just to the right of the close button, this will expand the stock take search, and within here you can go through all different types of searching. You can look at different statuses, product creators, warehouses, locations, stock units. There's all sorts that you can do within here that'll define your search. So if when you're doing your year-end stock take, if you're looking to progress through certain locations, then you are able to group the products by that and create stock takes based upon that, which will make it a little bit easier if you've got quite a big warehouse that you're looking to go through sort of section by section. So once we've found the list of products, we can just highlight them and then we hit stock take. And what this will do, this will create an outstanding stock take in the background here. Now at this point, if you are doing your year-end stock take, there is something you can do that will make it a little bit easier for you to count, rather than you having, say, a big Excel spreadsheet that you can use. You can view a report. So if we highlight the stock take and hit print and email, we do have a stock take sheet. If I just view this report very quickly, so it's going to take a second to load, but there is a stock take PDF report that you can print out, and it's basically got the product, the location where it is, the unit that you've got, the current amount, and then there's a space for you to input your counted amount. So there's a number of things that you can do with that. So rather than having Excel spreadsheets full of everything, you've got a sort of a bit of a nicer report here that you can use and you can print out. So to access that, it's just highlighting the stock take and then hitting print and email, and then you can print that out ready for your counting. Now you're going to make an amendment. Once you've made your amendment, if I click into this outstanding stock take, what we can do within here is now amend the quantity. So within this area, within the stock take, looking specifically at this bottom left hand section, this is where we're going to be focusing on of inputting the stock. So within this area, if you've got an item that currently does have stock, this line will show as a stock rather than new stock, and it will also show any picked or allocated lines within here. So you can see a breakdown of the physical stock that you have at the moment. So you can make a proper amendment and say, right, okay, we've got, say we have 20 in stock, but 10 of them are due to go out. Then you can see exactly what split is due to go on an order and what is actually free stock available that you can amend. So within here, we just want to select the relevant ones. In most cases, you'll be selecting new stock or stock. And on the right hand side of that, we just want to amend this confirmed quantity here. So what this confirmed quantity is, this is the overall amount that you've got. So if you have 10 in stock and you actually realise you've got 15 in stock, so 10 shown in the system, 15 you actually have on the shelf, you wouldn't want to put in this confirmed quantity 5, you want to put your actual counted amount in here. So if it was, say, 15 that we had, we'd amend this to be 15, we would click the save button at the top left hand corner, and as we can see, the quantity confirmed here is now showing as 15. Now one thing we can do within here is amend any locations that you've got. So there's a couple of test ones already set up in here, and bin locations, something we'll go through in a little bit, how to set up and how to find them. But you can specifically select what locations that these products will go in. So if you've got bin locations set up within Prima, you can easily amend that and put them in at this stage to select that. So if you knew this was going to be going against, say, A1, you'll be able to select day 1 from within here and assign it to that stock, so you know where, so your pickers know where exactly that is within the system. So once happy with everything, you are able to add some more items by clicking this blue plus button here. That'll give you the option to add a new item. So this will, once you click that, it will show as a search box here for the product. But once you're happy with everything, you can just hit complete in the top right hand corner, and what that will then do is put that item into stock. Now, one thing to just think about if you are doing any stock taking, that the price, the batch cost of that line of stock that you've just put in will calculate based on the product unit within Prima. So we'll show you where it'll take it from, and then we'll show you how to amend that. Okay. So the next bit of that, so that was just the stock taking. So that's how you can create a stock take, how you can complete it, and then if you're doing it en masse, it's just a case of inputting line by line. It may take you a little bit of time, but it's the quickest, most efficient way of doing that. So we'll just close that down now, and what we want to do now that we've put that stock in is we want to see how we can amend that specific batch. And by that is whether we need to amend any costs, so if you know that it's worth a specific amount and it's different in the system, how you can split batches in case, say, one of them's damaged. There's a few different bits within here, whether it's putting in serial numbers that is sort of quite a common thing for you to be doing. So if we go into stock and then products, I've already searched for this item, but you've then put the specific item that you want to find. And if I double click into here, the easiest way to find what current batches you have available and the cost is within this balances on the right hand side over here underneath the image. So I would just click this, and then what it would show from a glance within this balances and allocations is any current requirements, any current allocations if you do have any, as well as a quick overview of what stock you've got across all of your depots if you have a multi-depot Prima. So in this sort of test database we've got a few depots, and there's only one depot that contains stock, which is the current HQ stock that we're using. Now if I go to the batch records tab here, what we can see from what we've got is the amount in of this item. So we've got 15 remaining of that batch, and you can see down the very bottom we've got 15 in this specific batch. So we can see the current value on the right hand side, as well as the unit price, which is taken from the product unit pricing, and more than often you prefer to apply a price depending on the pricing method you've got set up. Now if this in fact was, say, £9.50, we would amend that, and it's just within here that we can change that unit price. If I save and close, the current value will update based off what that price that we've just put in. So it'll give you a good idea of what you're going to be paying for that and the value of your stock. Now whatever you put in here, if you use this stock and this stock allocates to an order, it's the price here that will be written back into the sales order. Just below we do have items in a selected batch, and it's in here that we can amend the splitting of these individual batches. We can amend serial numbers and a few different things. So if I double click into this, we have the option to first of all split the batch. So if you say you've got 5 and for whatever reason, if you've got 15 and for whatever reason 5 were damaged, you can put in here, say, okay, I want to split 5 of them into a different batch. And the reason for that is because we're looking to return that. So what we would do, we would just hit save and close on that. And as we can see, we've now got 2 batches, one of 5 and one of 10 here. Now, within that area as well, we do have the option to put in serial numbers. So if you do have, say, machines that have serial numbers per the batch of stock, so you can trace that for whatever reason, whether it be sort of warranty, or it's just that a machine that needs a serial number to show when you sold it, then you can put these into here. So it could be whatever your serial number is, the manufacturer one, as well as your internal one. It can be whatever you want in there. Place them in here, and then that's what assigns the serial numbers to that specific batch of stock. Now the last thing that you would use this area for is if you're looking to return stock. So you do have a warehouse within here, and it's in here that we would place items into damaged stock if it needs to be returned. So this damaged stock would place that stock as being unavailable, and that would be then available in our supplier returns area. So you see now that's shown as unavailable stock, and we've got another 10 that's available, and within the balances and allocations we've got 5 that's unavailable. So it's all within that this batch records area that you'll be amending, the sort of splitting of batches, how to change that, and how to go through. So that's something that you can do within this area. The final thing that we do want to look for is warehouse sort of locations and different things like that, and bin locations. So this is actually managed again from within the stock product, so within stock products, and then we've got this warehouse locations and levels tab. So within here, so we can see all the different warehouses that we've got and the depots, and then within that specific depot, so the depot we're currently in is the HQ, and we can set again the location that is set. So if it's something that is set, you will be able to see from this area here, or you can actually set, oh, this is against A1, and that is what location that stock is against. So your pickers will be able to see from here, but if you need to change anything, it's in here as well. And it's also here that you can set up your fixed your minimum reorder and maximum reorder levels as well. So it's just the location here. Now to set these up, it is done from within the admin. So if you log into your admin, under general we have warehouse and locations, and then within this area there's a few that's already been set up here. We would hit this new warehouse location, and basically it will pop up with this little box here, and you can give a name of your warehouse. So say if it's goods inwards, the location, so if you have like a standard for naming your bins, it could be A1, 2, depending on sort of how far and across they are up. The depot that's assigned against, so if you've got a multi-depot Prima and you've got multiple depots, you can select specifically which one this goes against. Whether you can store stock in there, which is more than often a yes, and then the type. So if it's a goods inwards, internal stock, damaged stock, all the different bits, you can actually put that within there, but for the majority it'll be goods inwards. Once you pop that detail in there, you can save and close, and that will be an option within here for you to assign to the product. Okay, so that's all we're covering today. If you do have any questions, I'll be hanging around for a little bit on the live chat to go through anything that you do require, but that is sort of a basic overview of stock management. If you want to cover anything further in detail, just contact our customer service team. I'm more than happy to book in a one-to-one training session, but apart from that, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.